Today we are going to take you to a hot spring inn in Japan that is currently ranked at number 1. It is called Hakone no Yama or Cozy Inn. And you'll also meet the absolutely cutest, fluffiest dog ever. His name is Shofuku. So more videos on him later. Stay tuned. Let's first meet the owner, Watanabe-san. He is the nicest, sweetest host ever. I can tell that he was always smiling even though he was wearing a mask. First of all, if you're driving, they have free parking. Don't use the car GPS because there's a glitch. It'll lead you to the wrong place. Use the phone GPS, it's more accurate. It is a little bit tricky to find, but once you see this Nono Hakone hotel, just go in more. Once we arrived, we got our temperatures checked, and Mr. Watanabe is showing us around the area. The inn is full of character. It looks like a page right out of Hayao Miyazaki's animation. It's quirky, rustic, colorful, and rich with decorations. It feels really warm. I literally feel like I'm living in someone's home. Very cozy, just like its name, Cozy Inn. The Cozy Inn has been in business for around 3 decades. But despite its age, when I walked in, it felt immaculately clean. Unlike some inns that have a moldy smell, this inn smells fresh, clean, and very welcoming. They are very particular about their cleaning. As soon as a guest leaves, they would start right away. The inn is run by 3 people, Mr. Watanabe, who's usually the front of house, his sister and Mrs. Watanabe are usually behind the scene. They have a lot of books and an extensive collection of Japanese manga, comic books that you can read for free, sitting next to the fireplace that actually does burn wood. So you can smell the burning wood while sitting on a rocking chair or one of these comfy seats. That's what I call the perfect way to chillax. So the reason why we chose this inn to have a vacation was we were reading an Onsen magazine and this inn was ranked number 1. So we thought that it was going to be super expensive, but when we called and checked out the price, it was surprisingly affordable. Around 11,000 yen to 15,000 yen per person, depending on the season, of course, so only around 110 to 150 US dollars per person. We were very interested, so we made a reservation right away. They did state on their website that they can only speak Japanese, so it's better to have someone who can kind of speak Japanese to talk to them. So they called us back and we talked for half an hour. It's funny, we talked to Mrs. Watanabe and then she wanted to know why we chose their inn of all the onsen places in Japan. We told her that because it was ranked number 1, and she became really humble and said it wasn't really that spectacular. Very Japanese of her. And then she gave us some rules that we have to follow, another very Japanese trade. And then we made a deposit directly to her bank account in a certain amount of days after, and the reservation was confirmed. So I'd like to remind all of you that after making a reservation online, you have to directly deposit money to her bank account, otherwise your reservation may be cancelled. 2 days after we confirmed our reservation, we received in the mail some Hakone brochures and about the Cozy Inn and coupons so we can start planning our trip to Hakone. We thought that was such a nice touch because we didn't expect it and no one has ever done that before. Some rules about the inn to keep yourself safe and happy, and some instructions on how to use the onsen. And now, are you ready to see the $1 million view? This is our very own private onsen with a spectacular out-of-this-world mountain view. This is no ordinary view. The open-air flying stone bath is made from a large stone that has been hollowed out and has a great location with a panoramic view of Mount Yama and Mount Onsen. Usually, guests can enjoy about 40 minutes of onsen per day, so one time during the evening after they've arrived, and one more time the next day before they leave. The owner will arrange the specific time slot for you, so you don't need to share the onsen with anyone else except your friends, which is pretty rare because most onsens in Japan are separate for male and female, and you do have to share the onsen with a bunch of strangers. But if you want a private onsen, you would have to rent it. Even if you rent it, you may not get such a spectacular and open mountain view. The onsen also has a private toilet that you can use. Speaking of toilets, one of the reasons why this inn is superbly affordable is because you do have to share the toilets with other guests. They have altogether 2 toilets and 4 sinks excluding the onsen toilet. Because of the pandemic, Mr. Watanabe wanted to keep the occupancy rate lower than 50%, so currently there are only me, my friend, and 1 other guest staying at the inn, so only 3 of us using 2 toilets, and that's totally fine by us. It's time to meet the 4th member of the inn, Shofuku, who is just so cute and fluffy. He is an Akita. This is what he looks like as a baby. Now he's 6 years old. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to pet him because Shofuku had some bad experiences in the past with a male guest, so he's a little bit afraid of males. He's definitely a lot more friendlier around females. Because they wanted to keep the guests safe, we could only look at his cute little face from afar. For dog lovers and especially Akita lovers, we have more videos of Shofuku at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. We thought it was really cute that for dinner and breakfast time, Mr. Watanabe also rings the bell. This bell is originally from England to let us know that it's time to eat. When Mrs. Watanabe was talking to us on the phone, she told us to check out the website to see if we are happy with their menu. Unlike some restaurants that may have a wide selection of dishes, she just wants to make sure that we are happy with what they can offer. Dinner was absolutely delicious. The portions were huge. We had hamburger, steak, pumpkin, peas, clam chowder. The salad was super fresh. The bread was soft and homemade. Everything was perfection. After the hearty meal, we had a light, refreshing grapefruit dessert that was a perfect ending to the delicious meal. And some macaroon to satisfy our sweet tooth. Mr. Watanabe found out that it was actually my friend's birthday 2 days ago, and then he suddenly put a gift on our table while we were having breakfast. That was so sweet of him. This is our breakfast: toast with sausage plus extra cheese. It was super delicious with eggs and juice. Fresh salad. After breakfast, we're ready for the second round of this decadent onsen. It's so funny that after we were done, Mr. Watanabe could hear our footsteps, and he secretly, very subtly, slipped 2 bottles of ice-cold water behind the curtains, and he mysteriously disappeared. We are consistently impressed by Japanese people's service. They want to serve you, but they don't want to disturb you at the same time. So they do everything very subtly. He's like an invisible butler, knowing what we want before we know it. We were talking to Mr. Watanabe in our free time, and he told us that there was a time when he was really super stressed because he was constantly trying to improve. He was so stressed that he had some health issues. Luckily, he's fine now. The reason why they're not serving as many foreigners as they'd like is because they're afraid that their English ability is not good enough. Despite that, they still have around 20% foreign patrons. Interestingly, most of them are from Germany. Even though he couldn't speak German, he always tried to be helpful and guess what they wanted. Overall, this gotta be one of the best experiences that I've ever had with an onsen inn. The service was incredible, more than we ever expected. The food was delicious, the onsen view was breathtaking, and the price was really cheap given the high quality experience. It's definitely high cost performance and great value for money. A very chillaxing, wonderful, and heartwarming experience. Do you notice little shofuku right there? This is how Japanese people send you off, with a lot of warmth and sweetness. We felt like we were his kids. After we checked out, we received a thank you note from them the next day, and some directions of a more scenic route in case we want to go back. Here are the directions for a more scenic route if you want to drive to the inn. They are ranked number 1 for a reason. We can't wait to go back sometime in the future and also visit Shofuku. Now here are more videos on Shofuku. Enjoy!